Welcome to What's Happening. I'm your host today, Paula Hersey, and with me is Mike Locke from the Harwich Conservation Trust. We have an exciting event to tell you about today. Do you like owls? Well, for another year, since this is a multiple year,
11th
right,
annual.
we've got a owl presentation at the Harwich Community Center on March 4th. This is like the most popular event that you guys do. I mean, everybody loves owls, right? I think the whole snowy owl thing kind of resurged. Everybody saying these beautiful birds of prey are just amazing and so fun to learn about.
Yes.
So tell us about the event and how can people get to the event?
Well, thanks so much for having us talk about the event at your Cape Cod Community Media Center. You guys do such a great job, such a great resource. So thank you. The Live Owl event, like you said, Saturday, March 4th, there are 3 program times, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., or 3 p.m. Everything I'm about to share with you can be found at our website, harwichconservationtrust.org.
Great.
People can reserve in advance or pay at the door. Ticket prices are $5 ages 5 to 11 or $10 ages 12 to adult. We've had those same ticket prices, $5 and $10, ever since we started 11 years ago.
It's been 11 years.
11 years.
That's great.
So Marcia and Mark Wilson, the naturalist owl educators, husband and wife team, actually bring these owls to us. I mean, most people really don't get to see owls because the species around here are nocturnal. Right. So maybe we'll hear them every now and then.
We hear them every now and again.
Right. But now Marcia and Mark will bring these owls right to our Cape Cod doorstep for people to have up-close personal experiences with these birds. They'll bring great horned owl, the much smaller saw-whet owl,
I like those.
Screech owl. All 3 of those species can be found locally. They will bring a snowy owl, which is amazing. Yeah. They'll bring the largest owl species by weight in the world, which is the Eurasian eagle owl. Wow. They'll even bring a species from South America called the spectacled owl. And they'll bring another owl species which has been making a comeback on the Cape called the barred owl. That's B-A-R-R-E-D. Yeah. And so these different owls that the Wilsons care for all have permanent disabilities.
So they can't go back into the wild.
That's right. That's right. So Marcia and Mark have special permits which allow them to care for these owls, let these owls live out their natural lives, while also bringing them on the road on these unique educational programs for people of all ages to experience the nature and behavior and get to know these owls up close.
Right. So when it's amazing when you think about nature and what happens to a bird or an animal when they're permanently disabled and not able to survive in the wild. Mm-hmm. These folks have been caring for these owls for quite a while now.
That's right. Some of these species are very long-lived. Right. Yes. And they develop these real personal connections to these owls. Like you said, I mean, if it's a domestic pet we have, a cat or a dog, if there's an injury, naturally we bring it to a local veterinarian.
Right.
Well, these wild animals obviously don't have that opportunity. So if they suffer an injury, say from a collision with a car, or maybe run in with some electric wires that might have a current in them, then they suffer a wing injury or an eye injury, and they can no longer forage. Or sometimes even fly naturally in the wild. So they're really at the mercy of whatever happens next to them, which usually isn't a pleasant ending.
Right.
Now it is nature, but we know that those interactions with human-made issues, right, whether it's a car or other man-made conflicts with wildlife, create unforeseen problems. So Marcia and Mark have the ability to take these injured animals in, these injured owls in, bring them back to a healthy place. Some of these injuries they can't heal enough so that they could be released to undergo their natural experiences in the wild, so they just are able to bring them back to a place where they can live out their natural lives in a safe enclosure, and then bring them on the road.
So talk a little bit about the educational piece of this. Like you said, we don't normally see owls. Every now and again, you might see them early morning.
Or in the evening.
In an evening, in a walk. But when children come in contact with wildlife at an early age, that educational experience, talk about that and how that works into what your mission is at the Harwich Conservation Trust.
Well, at Harwich Conservation Trust, we're a local nonprofit land trust that focuses on preserving land to protect wildlife habitat, water resources, scenic views, walking trails, all of those environmental elements, which the combination really keep us here on the Cape and draw so many more, create that unique quality of life. As it relates to preserving land to protect wildlife habitat, including for wildlife like owls, we have an opportunity to give these wild animals safe places to forage, to find food, to shelter, to raise their own young, and live out their natural lives. When we bring people onto the land through our guided walks, sometimes we'll get a chance to see some of these creatures at a distance. In the case of Marcia and Mark bringing these owls to us, you have a much closer personal experience. We can't touch the owls that Marcia and Mark bring, but you're sometimes within feet of these owls, and you can actually see individual feathers and see the colors up close, see their eyes with, say, that golden iris of the great horned owl and the ear tufts. And so the texture and the close-up experiences are really unique because, as you said, most people, they might experience owls at a distance, either through a quick sighting at dusk or dawn when they're most active, before the nighttime sets in at the twilight time, or maybe they might hear them from a distance. So it's really a unique opportunity.
Right. And when this particular, you've had to add viewings because
yes.
It's gotten so popular over the years. So
yes.
Let's talk again just a little bit about how the day goes and how people need to register for this event.
Sure, yes. Well, we have 3 programs because it is so popular, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. And we couldn't put these programs on without our business support from the Cape Cod Media Group, Cape Cod Times, Cape Cod Chronicle, Cape Codder, the Register newspaper, Cape Cod 5-Cent Savings Bank, and Birdwatchers General Store.
I love that place.
Isn't that a great place? So combined, their business support helps us underwrite the program and offer it to the community. We don't recommend it for under age 5, but again, ages 5 to 11, $5 each, or ages 12 and up, $10 each. And people can find out those details I just described at our website, harwichconservationtrust.org. All 3 programs will be at the Harwich Community Center at 100 Oak Street. Okay. So it's a wonderful day and a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining us, Mike.
Thank you, Paul.
I'm Paula Hersey for What's Happening. Go see this exhibit. Go meet the owls. It is on March 4th. There's 3 viewings that you can sign up for. You can do that at harwichconservationtrust.org. March 4th. I'm Paula Hersey, and this is What's Happening.